Hello my crafting friends, thank you for joining me. Right, I'm going to be using the Inkylicious Reflections Lakeview stamp set, which is really lovely. And in it you get the birds and you get the reflection birds for reflecting on the water, which I absolutely loved. And my sister gave me this. She didn't want it, so I bet I'll have done this tutorial. She'll say, I want it back, Caroline. So, you're not having it back, Wendy, no. So if you can see, I've done it here, and I've done a bit of a sunrise background where the sun's coming up here and shining, and I'm going to show you how I've done this, but I'm going to do it with a blue sky this time. I'm also going to be using the Craftaddictionuk wreath die, which is, I love this one, so I'm going to be using that. So it's going to be a lovely wreath framed picture. So if you sort of get the idea here of, this is an 8x8 card, and I've done a 7.5, 7.75, sorry, 7.5, 7.5 matte with silver, and then this top one will be 6.25 by 6.25. I think that's right. So that will be on there like that, and then I've done some of the wreaths. I've done them in silver, and I've done them in I've done it in green as well. So you know, you can sort of have both. You can do, and you can layer. So if you wanted a bit of green at the bottom, and you can have your silver on top if you want, and just have the two, and that looks lovely, doesn't it? So I'm just going to do a blue sky for inside on this demo, and then we'll decide which we're going to have. So let's get started. What I did was I got my circle die from my set of circles, and I measured and made sure it fit just inside my my wreath die. Can you see? So if you've got circle dies, if not, you know, cut yourself one out. But yeah, that fit in perfectly. All my sets of circles, squares, rectangles, that, you know, in the multi packs, they go from 8-inch, you know, down to like 1 inch, are all from Chloe's Creative Cards, and she's very, very reasonable. Like Craftaddictionuk, you know, they're not overly expensive. It's affordable. Everything's affordable. Same with Chloe. So let's get started. So I'm actually using Pink Frog watercolour card here for this, because I want to use, I want to watercolour it. To get the stamp, make sure I've got it the right way up. And I'm going to place that right at the edge there, because I don't want a straight line down here. I just want that sort of overlapping at the edge there. And I'll bring that down a little bit so you can see that tree under there. Like that. Make sure that's level. And then we'll stamp that. So that's quite nice. I might actually give it just another one. There we are. Lovely. Okay, I will get painting this and get it nice. So I've got some Distress Oxide, Tumbled Glass and Stormy Sky. So on my glass mat at the side here, so that you can see, I'm just going to put some tumbled glass down. And get my brush that I've got some water on. And I'm just going to I don't know why I've got two there. I must have cut two pieces. What a dopey. Okay. And leave a bit of a gap for clouds. Like that. Bit of a cloud in the sky there. Then I'm going to get my Stormy Sky. Oh, sorry, not Stormy Sky. I want Faded Jeans. Oh, I got that one. Faded Jeans. I want Stormy Sky. Faded Jeans. And I want to really water that down. But I just want a bit of an extra darker blue in the sky. I haven't done a sun coming up on this, or a moon. And just under my cloud there. And if you think, oh, I want another cloud in that sky, get your water and just pop that in there. Then just get a tissue, dab it out. And again, get your darker blue, just go under your cloud, like that. As the saying goes, every cloud has a silver lining. So you remember at the top, it's lighter. There we are. So that's your sky. That's done. And then we're going to do the water. Let me wipe that off. And I'm using my Distress inks. I've got Prize Ribbon and I've got Blueprint Sketch. So I'm starting with Blueprint Sketch. Let's get rid of that. I'm going to water that down and just go along the water. Like that. Water it down. You've seen me do scenes like this before. If you're new to my channel, there are a lot. I know there are a lot to go through videos. I think there's over 600 videos. I've been doing this for 10 years. So, you know, just have a scroll through and you'll see some of the scenery that I've done like that. So that's the water done on there. And I'm going to get my prize ribbon now, because this is slightly darker, more, if anything, slightly more turquoisey. And I'm just going along the edge for shadow of those hills, okay? And that just does the shadow on the water of those. And again, here. And you can see that on this stamp from Inklicious, it's got the reflections in, which is wonderful, isn't it? There's nothing like having the reflections ready done, that you don't have to do those. So all you need is a bit of shading with your colouring. And blend that in. And there you've got your water. Now, excuse me, I've got some Distress Oxide Black Soot. And I'm just going to go along the edge there, just to darken it, just a smidge. Can you see how it defines that line a lot? And while I've got my black soot out, I've put some water on just to get it down a little bit. And where the rocks are, just adding a little bit of the grey. Because we're going to put snow on there after anyway. So it just gives everything a little bit of shading. A little bit in the background there. So that's just shaded that. Excuse me. And now I'm going to get my green, and I've got some Distress Oxide pine needles. Because your tree isn't fully white, you know, you've got underneath, the snow doesn't get underneath. So you've got this little bit here. We get a thinner brush. So with my green, just going underneath, just to get some colour underneath. And there's like a row of trees at the back here. So I'm just going to add a little bit of green there. And up on the hill, there's like a forest behind. It's a lovely stamp there, so it really is. It's got more detail. It's only when you start painting and colouring, you see all the detail on it, which is really nice. And it's got some grasses that are still standing up, so I'm just going to do those bits of grasses there. So we've just got that bit of green under those trees, so that bit's done as well. I think I like the blue better than these sun, you know, blue sky rather than a sunrise. I think we'll see at the end anyway. So obviously we need some snow on here, and we need ice. I'm going to use my rollerball, my Signo rollerball white gel pen, and I'm just going to put a few white lines, sort of a bit of a nice loop to it, and like that. And then I'm going to get my quickie glue pen, and just on certain places on the tree, I just want a bit of glitter. Just add some white here. And on the water, just a little bit. And I'm going to use my Chloe's glass slipper because I don't want it silver. I just want a white glittery look to it. Can you see that? Sorry, I keep coughing. My throat's a little bit funny this morning. You can add more glitter if you need to. If If you think it's going to stick too much with it being damp, then dry your image off first. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my Luma Bleed Proof White. I haven't got my Sizzix one yet. It's taken a while to come, but hopefully it should arrive soon, because I want to try that, see what that one's like. But what I did is this had gone all crusty, if you remember, in one of my demos. And so I've added water and I've given it a really good stir and a mix. And it's come out really nice. So we're going to add snow to those trees. And this does actually dry a little bit raised, so that's nice. Hope you can see this okay. But this just gives it extra snow on those lovely trees. And on the rocks. Just want some on the rocks. Looks nice. So we've got lots of lovely snow there. Very snowy picture, isn't it? And I'm just going to get my fan brush. Pop that in and put it on my acrylic block. Pop the lid on that. This has got plenty of water on the brush. I'm just going to tap that over. Nice snowy sky. So that's nice, isn't it? Look at that, it's a lovely scene. I'm just going to get my heat gun and try and dry that off a little bit. To warp your card, leave it to dry overnight. You know, you could do, you know, a few of these. You could do quite a few. Sorry, I'm just messing with my gun here. My glue gun that is. You could do, you know, 5 or 6 of these. You could do a half a dozen of these. Just leave them to dry overnight and you can just stick them straight on your card. So what you can add as well on here is I've got the Funky Fossil Stellar Paste Starlight, and that can go across the water as well, but I'll do that later once I've got it on the card. So let's do this. Decide I'm going to have the blue one, so just pop that to one side for a minute. Got white splashes everywhere. And I'll do my mirror card. As before with mirror card, I use my roller pen. It's a permanent roller. Sticks to, and that you can get replacement cartridges for. It just opens up and you put your replacement cartridge in. can add a little bit of glue to the inside, because that won't show any lines, because notoriously with mirror card, if you put glue, it shows through as lines. So make sure it's opening the right way and pop that inside like that. There we go. And then your top layer will go on there. This is Pink Frog Super Smooth. They've got a special offer on at the moment. Works out about 10p a sheet of A4. 300 GSM Super Smooth White. And you know, grab that while you can. And when you get to checkout, if you put in, this is just for October, by the way, in case anybody's watching this after October, you can put in a spooky frog, and you get 10%, another 10% off. So, yay! I think it works out at £18 for 20 £20 for 185 sheets, I think it is. And then you get your 10% off. So that's not quite level, is it? Why is that doing that? There we are. Okay. So that's down. And we need to decide whereabouts we want this on here, and where the wreath is going to go, because we want here at the top a bow, so that can go fairly central when it's glued down, but I want a sentiment here that says Merry Christmas. So let's do that. Now I know where it's going. Back to my stamping platform. My Merry Christmas that I forgot to get out. With lots of love and hugs this Christmas. That's nice, isn't it? That's done. Okay. Make sure my fingers are clean. If they're not. Don't want black ink on it. Pop that down. And what I actually did as well was I did one, and I have done this before in one of my other tutorials. And that is, I got the wreath, and then I used the Funky Fossil Bright Meadow Stella paste, and I brushed out, and it gave it a nice glow around it, which was nice, which was lovely. So I mean, you can do that as well, and you know, get some nice glitter outside. So let's get this put in the middle. In case it's still wet. Make sure that's the line goes across. I'm just going to get some piece of card and just press down on the top. Can you see, it's just, if I'd done it with my hands, it would have smudged it all. So there's a tip for you. Put a piece of card over if you're still working with it wet. So there we have that. I'm going to put some black card under, then you can see what I'm doing. I put paper under here, then I don't reflect from the glass mat. So that's better, isn't it? That's looking nice. So I'm going to put the green wreath on first. So that's going to go on. To glue all around with that. One thing I would say when you're cutting out a wreath with your cutting dies is use a thicker card. If you ever have dies that you struggle or anything to get the cardstock out, use a thicker one. Use like this glitter card. And that's going to go on there. How beautiful is that? Is that as a card, eh? Wowzers. So, this was some glitter card I got, and for some reason, they'd done it double-sided, which was a bit daft. Can't remember where I got it now. But I need to get some more and the proper one that doesn't do that. And you can use your double-sided roller tape around it as well. So that will have to just stick down. It's not sticking, is it? Right. So wipe that glue off. And practice what I preach. Glue on my fingers now. Okay. And as you can see, that green just shines through lovely, doesn't it? That's stuck better. So there you go. Use your roller one. How lovely is that? And then of course you can put a bow on the top as well. And I did think about I have some gems, and let me just put a few out, and I could you know, pop those on, little red gems. Excuse me, let me just have a drink. I won't be a minute. It's better. That's too thick. I don't know why that's dripping out. Those are nice, aren't they? So if I do some down here. Fiddle, fiddle. You don't need many around. These are actually for nail art gems. You know, you can go on Amazon, Temu, eBay, and these are called Anitas, and I've had them a long time. But they're nail gems, nail art gems. So about here. Feel free to fast forward while I do my gems. I'm getting better now. How lovely is that? I'm loving that. This glue I use art glitter glue, and it dries clear, so don't worry if it's dabbed a bit on. Oh, I'm going to do them again. For goodness sake. Fiddly, eh? Or fiddly? Fiddly or fiddly? Make sure they're well glued in, otherwise they'll just drop off. And then 3 up here. So those look really pretty. And then I've got a red bow, and I'm just going to pop that at the top there. Wow, that's a card, isn't it? So that should be on. Oh, I've not plugged in my well, that's just heating up. I've not plugged my glue gun in. What a dope. I just want to show you this Funky Fossils Stellar Starlight. So you just get a bit of it on your brush like that, and you can spread it across like that. And on your trees, your snow. And again, can you see how the sort of the lump on it? That shows you that it's a texture paste. You know, it's not liquidy. And it will dry like that, but it dries clear. Once it's dry, it isn't cream like that. It dries clear. And when I used it on the yellow one here, and you can see how much on the water that's just dried and glittered it all along it. So rather than you wait for my glue gun to heat up, you can see the exact card as it's finished. And how beautiful. Well, I hope it inspires you to have a go, and especially if you've got this wreath. If you haven't, go along to Craftaddictionuk. Susan that's on their design team, she gives a code of Susan5, and I think you get 5% off. So that's very kind of them. So yeah, use that as well. So there we go. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that. And thank you so much for staying with me all through all the lumps and bumps of it all. And if you have enjoyed it, give us a thumbs up. It lets me know just, you know, how many people have watched and enjoyed it. And it makes it worthwhile. Well, I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye for now.